Problem 5-78. Find the value of x in each diagram below. Letter A. We've got a right triangle, which is a 45, 45, 90 right triangle. And we've got a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. And they share one side in between. So here we go. Let's think here first of all, in case you forgot this skill from your geometry. We've got special right triangles. 45, 45, 90, and 30, 60, 90 right triangles. We know this one here ends up being an isosceles right triangle. So what we can say here is y, we'll call these each y. If I said y squared plus y squared, it should equal 17 radical 2 squared. That's a little thing I like to call the Pythagorean theorem. I hope you know what that is. Now, if we take y squared and y squared, we add them, we get 2y squared. If I square 17 radical 2, that means I got to square 17, and I got to square radical 2. 17 squared is going to be 289. Radical 2 squared is 2. So I have 289 times 2, which is about 578, but I don't need to do that much because I can divide each side by 2 here. My 2's end up creating a big giant 1 on both sides, leaving me with y squared equals 289. I take the square root of each side, and I should end up with y equaling 17. So each side up here is going to be 17. Next, I need to look at my 30, 60, 90 right triangle here. I know that there is a relationship between the side lengths and the angles. Whatever the side opposite the angle 30 is, let's say for instance it is A, then I know that my 90-degree angle, the side that's going to be opposite, my hypotenuse is what we call it where I come from, that's going to be 2A. And the side opposite my 60-degree angle here would be A radical 3. So if I need to figure out what my length of x is going to be, I can take it here and use this relationship here. I know that my 30-degree angle has a side opposite it that's 17. So my hypotenuse would end up being double that, which is 34. And the side opposite my 60-degree angle is going to end up being 17 radical 3. It just so happens that that is where x is. So x equals 17 radical 3 units. If I wanted to get out my calculator and figure out what that decimal value would be, it's somewhere around 29.44. Congratulations. You're moving on to letter B. Here we go. Letter B. We've got 2 more triangles. Another 45, 45, 90 right triangle, and another 30, 60, 90 right triangle. Now, we don't know this side here. We're trying to figure out what the hypotenuse of the right triangle with the 45-degree angles is. So, if I know my hypotenuse here is 8, let's think about that relationship again. So, my hypotenuse here, or the side opposite the 90-degree angle, is 8. That means that the side opposite my 30-degree angle is exactly half of that, which would be 4. And then my 60-degree angle, its side opposite that would be 4 radical 3. It's kind of irrelevant for this part, but we'll write it in there anyway. The 4 is important here, though. If this side is 4, that means that this side is 4. So when I do 4 squared plus 4 squared, it should equal this x side squared. Or if you remember your relationship from 45, 45, 90 right triangles, if one side is a and this side is a, this one's going to be a radical 2. So 4 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared, which means when we take it, we simplify it down. Let's actually do that in case somebody does not remember. We're going to do 4 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. So 16 plus 16 equals x squared. 16 plus 16 is going to be 32, which is equal to x squared. Take the square root of each side, because you can. We're going to end up with this being the same thing as 16 times 2, or the square root of 16 times the square root of 2, which gives us 4 radical 2 is equal to x. So x equals 4 radical 2. I wanted to show a little work there to help you out in case you couldn't remember. You probably could be able to do these ones in your head if you remember the rules for 45, 45 degree right 90, 90, 45, 45, 90 special right triangles, and 30, 60, 90 special right triangles. Thank you for listening here. If you want to double check, plug that bad boy back in. And if you gave me the decimal answer, you would have ended up with 5.66 units. This is problem 5-78. I hope you did well.